the event. We have Dr. Michelle Mraz. I think she's joining us for the welcome. And then we have Tanisha Carroll, who is also here, who is our event coordinator, who is also welcome to be part of the welcome. So, Dr. Mraz, you can join us, and Tanisha, you can join us if you'd like. And we will proceed by giving some acknowledgement and gratitude, because I think the coolest thing about the shows that we do, Roz, is that we start them off as a good leader should, which is, how did I get here? So I
Yes.
already acknowledged you, but there's another person I'd like to acknowledge, and his name is Barry Shore, and he is called the Ambassador of Joy, but he's also kind of been known the king of acronyms. So he has
Yes.
an acronym book that I was very honored to write the forward for. It's called A Pocket Full of All Concepts Relating Optimally and Neurologically to Your Mind Strength book by Barry Shore. And what is so cool about this to me is it's the best of his acronyms. For 17 or 18 years, he kept a spreadsheet of all the different acronyms that he had written. And so here we are today, celebrating that book, celebrating that day, and all because you catalyzed it with the most beautiful name, the Acronym-A-Thon. And I've enjoyed to some degree people trying to say that word, Acronym-A-Thon.
Yes. Yes.
All right, welcome, Dr. Mraz. How are you?
Acronym-A-Thon, acronym-A-thon, acronym-A-thon.
At the Bald event, we when we had someone leave and they did a great job speaking, we go like this to them. Well, this is our code here is the Acronym-A-Thon, acronym-A-thon, acronym-A-thon. So, as much as Michelle tried, she lost patience with me trying to cut the little triangles here. So I have given up and just said I am going to have purple shoulders today. So, how are you, Dr. Mraz?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year to you both. I mean, day 9.
And I see we all. So you're okay. So you put your name at the beginning, your acronym. So people that are going to be on, you can put your name, and then you can put afterwards the acronym with the periods. And my co-host here is Smile, and I'm Smiles. And I don't remember Barry's, but in the past he's done Smile, and I've done Smiles. And his
Okay.
is I don't want the cat. I can't let the cat out because it's part of mine. So I'm not going to do that. So Michelle, what do you think about this day? This is Nerd Word Day, and you're a nerd word.
I'm a definite nerd word and word nerd. So I was excited about it when I heard the acronym-A-thon. I'm like, oh my gosh, I use acronyms all the time. But yeah, I had to shorten some of my acronyms. So this is exciting. I can't wait to see what everyone else puts up.
Yeah, this
That's
is
in, I was
good.
saying that's interesting that she said shorten. And I wanted to know about that shorten. Do you mean like I would like my words to be a phrase, but sometimes God talks to me and gives me a whole sentence with each letter, which is a lesson to me before I even share it out.
Mm.
So I was just
Yes.
wondering, which, yeah.
Yes, mine are long, and it's like, oh, I can't do that. It's going to take up the whole thing. So I'm like, and how do I say this sentence smaller? And that's what I
Yes.
did.
So I
See,
think
I,
there's
I don't have an hour to teach it.
well, I think there's a live link that's been sent out to the world, and I know that we are going to perpetuate that by sharing each person's having them share it. So by the end of the day, 100 people sharing a live link. It's going to be quite a number growing, but there are several unique things about today, and I wanted to share those things. Number one is this is the first time we've done a show on the Smile Channel in January. Last year we started in May, so any show we do in January, which we have one more called the Author-Thon, and we are going to bring authors together to support each other. That's one thing. Number two is this is the first time that we've had this many hosts to bring the event up and bring it down. So we have a total of 7 hosts that are going to be opening and closing the event. And number three is this is the very first event that a book is going to be created out of an event. So we have a beautiful design. I'm going to share that right now. This is the all I mean acronyms live loud, and this is a cover with really the subtitle saying the message, which is a word can change the world. And you say a word like love, and it can move someone into tears, it can move someone into joy. I wanted to share that this is a template for how people are going to have their acronym. They're going to have their name, they're going to have their word, and they're going to have ways to reach them. So this is normally about a $1,000 value to have something like this created. We are doing this just to cover costs is $99, and you get a nice banner to put on your social media that says that you are a wordsmith, a leader with a lexicon. And I'm just so excited about this design. I'm also excited about the book coming out. So we'll have 100 words that you can flip to any given word, and it'll empower you to the degree you wish to be empowered by that acronym.
That is
Sounds like
so
fun.
exciting. I love it. I love it. I love it. I know you had shared that um, how you came about, you met Barry Shores. I got to meet you because of Dr. Breakthrough, and I know that he's probably scheduled about one-ish today. But relational currency and collaborative empowerment is so exciting. And because my mother helped me with those words in teaching my life, I feel like at 65 years of age and having the honor to meet you and Michelle, that has just been an amazing thing. You know how when you know you have destiny, but when you connect with your own field of favor in the power of words with other people who are like minded.
Mm.
So I just had to share that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And when you're young, you're like, oh, when I get old, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then God opens this. And it's like, oh, I would have never imagined this. So thank you so much.
Well, I was waking up this morning just so invigorated, and I thought, wow, this was an idea, but the idea was only an idea until it was surrounded with love, and it was the team's love, it was the friendships, it was the leaders. To speak to your relationship currency, it was a fast build for us to create an event that's never been not only not created but not even thought of. And because I tell people we're doing something called the Acronym-A-Thon, they're like, what is
What?
that? It's kind of like pulling a dinosaur out of the past and explaining we're revitalizing words in a different way. So I'm very
Yeah.
excited about this day. So we are at the 9:10, which means I got a green light to do my acronym. And then Roz, you are the next one.
I
Today
can.
we're going host free. So you are your own host. Thank you, Dr. Miraz, for being here to open up the day. And thank you for taking it serious when I said, please wear that particular color.
Okay. And I'll see you all in 2 hours.
Yes, very good. See you in about 5 minutes, Dr. Roz. Well, hello. I am here in gratitude because of Barry Shore and my wonderful team. I'd like to give a shout out to Tanisha Carroll, who has supervised and assisted with every single leader and speaker getting the information they want. Because of a wonderful man, Faison Manzour, who is now located in the London area, and he has helped us create over 800 events. And just the rest of the team is extraordinary. And to our wonderful designer, Daniel Petamonte, who comes up with these designs that further motivate us to play big. So my name is Dr. Smiley. I live in the Washington, D.C. area, and I have traveled the world. I've written over 60 books. And so words mean a lot to me because it's not just the power of the word of my native tongue, but knowing which words to translate into other words. Like we have something called Keep Smiling, and the Keep Smiling movement, which is near and dear to my heart, is been translated in over 48 languages. And that's when I really learned how powerful a word can be. Just the word keep is continue, and smiling. So smiling is one of my keywords in the world. I have broken it down to an acronym word that I want to do, which is smiles. And smiles, my acronym for smiles is seen miracles in life every second. And I would say that the reason this acronym means so much to me is because there are always reasons to be sad, and there are always reasons to be angry, and there's always reasons to be depressed, and there's always reasons to be ungrateful. And I have found when I've let go of ego and I've embraced gratitude, that I have embraced what smiles stands for. So it isn't too hard to see a miracle. And if you smile, you see one just because you have the miracle of that smile engaging your brain into activating what I like to call dose, your dopamine, your oxytocin, your serotonin, endorphins, wildly being created at the degree your smile is engaged. And I think it's such a beautiful feeling that you get when you smile, that the phenomenon is that you could actually not be happy, smile, and fool your brain, and your brain will give you all those wonderful chemicals, natural chemicals that give you a reason to be happy. And God wants us to go on this journey called life with joy, and a smile is a great way to do it. So my word that I choose for today to start the day is smile, smiles. And you will hear people do other versions of words today, which is completely allowable. There is a book that's going to be offered, and that book I will go ahead and just share real quickly for those of you who'd like to get this book. It is called All Acronyms Live Loud. A Word Can Change the World. And I share this with you to say that words live when we live with words. And so the word smiles means a lot to me also because it is infused with love. When you smile, you're feeling acceptance, you're feeling an affinity for humanity and a willingness to be creative and collaborate. And I couldn't imagine doing the Acronym-A-Thon by myself. So a smile connected all of us. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy New Year. And remember, keep smiling. It's a choice.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. I am back. My big brother is Dr. Smiley, and I'm a Dr. Smile. Blessings, blessings, blessings to you. My acronym is SMILE, SMILE. Simply make intentional love encounters. So the simply, slow down, strip the excess, and stay present. Love doesn't need theatrics. M is choose action, not intention alone. Love is something you do, not something you wait to feel. Make means responsibility, intentional, on purpose, with awareness, guided by wisdom. Intentional love listens, discerns, and responds, not reacts, nothing accidental, nothing careless. Love. Love, that's the bridge. The greatest of these is love. Agape in motion, patient, kind, truthful, strong. Love is not weakness, it's authority wrapped in compassion. It corrects, covers, and builds. Kingdom posture. I love like God loves, clean, clear, and courageous. The E is encounter. The E is encounters. The E is encounters. Moments that mark, not just meetings. An encounter leaves residue, peace, clarity, courage, healing, or conviction. Someone should be better because you showed up. We all want to be able to lift each other up. So smile, the order. It's vertical. This matters. Vertical first to encounter God, internal next, which encounters yourself honestly, and horizontal last, encounter others intentionally. You don't pour love, you overflow it. That's the acronym for SMILE, to simply make intentional love encounters. Father, teach us to slow down enough to love well. Help me initiate what you've already authorized. Smile as the platform. Guard my heart from careless encounters and guide me into intentional ones. Let my presence reflect yours. I choose love on purpose, on assignment, and without fear. In Jesus' mighty name. I am Dr. Smile, AKA Auntie Roz. And you can find me at on Facebook at Roz Knighton Warfield. So, what are you going to do about your smile today? You are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. So, I like to say, ciao for now and get in the mirror. It's not about that external smile, the 32 pearly whites. It's about how you smile on the inside. Ciao for now. Welcome to the Acronym-A-Thon.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody Martin, and I am the author of Soldier Mom series. And first of all, I just want to give a shout out to Dr. Smiley for sharing these thons with me. We've done several together, but the Acronym-A-Thon is a really great one to be a part of so early this morning. So I just want to give a shout out to him. But, he asked me what word would I choose to be here with today. And if I had to choose one word that defines me, and that one word I believe could truly change the world is service. Service isn't just what I did in uniform. It's how I live, right? It's how I lead, and it's what I hope to pass on to the next generation. I served over 30 years in the U.S. Army Reserves, and people often focus on where you served or what you did. The real lesson that the military teaches you is who you become. In the Army, we're taught a set of values captured in one acronym: leadership. LDRSHIP, loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, personal courage. But at the center of that is service. Not service for recognition, not service for reward, but service to something bigger than yourself. That mindset is how I changed, how I showed up as a soldier, as a mom, as a teacher, and now an author. Service starts with loyalty, standing by people even when it's inconvenient. For kids, that may look like being a really great friend. For adults, it's showing up consistently, even when it's inconvenient. Duty, it's what we do that needs to be done, even when no one's watching. Service isn't always glamorous. It's packing lunches, mentoring kids, volunteering, voting, teaching, leading quietly. Respect. True service honors the dignity of others, listening before speaking, helping without judging, teaching her children that everyone matters. Selfless service. And this is the heart of it all, isn't it? This is the value that changed me the most. Putting the mission and people before yourself. And that mission doesn't have to be military. It can be within your community. It can be in your classroom. It can be in your family, right? Honor means living in a way that reflects your values, even when it's hard, even when it costs you something. Integrity requires honesty, doing the right thing, even when no one is looking, even when it's not easy, and modeling that for our children who are watching us closely and, quite frankly, every day. Personal courage. It takes courage, especially today. Courage to care, courage to speak up, courage to raise kind, responsible human beings. And in this noisy world, isn't that a little bit hard? So why does service matter for our next generation? We're raising children in a world that celebrates self over service, but kids don't need more pressure. They need purpose. When children learn service early, they learn empathy, responsibility, gratitude, leadership. Service gives kids a sense that they matter and that they can make a difference, even in small ways. And that's why I created the Soldier Mom series. I wanted to take big values like service, loyalty, integrity, and make them understandable, relatable, and age appropriate for children. These stories aren't about recruiting future soldiers. It's about creating future leaders for our next generation. These leaders are going to be great helpers and just good humans. Whether a child grows up to serve in a uniform or simply serves their community with heart, that's the mission. That's what Soldier Mom series is all about. And I'll end with this. Service isn't about wearing a uniform. It's how you treat people. It's how you show up and what you choose to stand for. If we teach service early, we don't just change the individual lives, we change families, communities, and eventually the world. Again, my name is Jody Martin. I am the author of the Soldier Mom series, and I gave you a little taste about what's upcoming in my brand new series, Leadership for Kids. And it talks all about the acronym leadership, LDR, SHIP. And each book will talk to our kids at a level that is appropriate for them about how you can show up in these ways in our community. And even as a child, our children are leaders. They're going to be the leaders of the world because they're growing up. They're going to be our newest leaders that are up and coming. So you can find me at the QR code that is listed in the background, or easily just go and find me on the web at jodymartinauthor.com. And there's plenty of resources there for parents and teachers. You'll find out more about my books and a few resources that are free. So please go and find everything there. Thank you. And I love you guys.
Hello, my name is David Goldberg, and my acronym is TALK, something we all do every day. And I don't think enough people put enough thought into how they talk. And my acronym stands for Talk Amazingly and Listen Keenly. Let me explain that. But first, a shout out to Dr. Smiley, who invited me into this acronym-a-thon. As there is talking for you. Okay, my background is all about talking. I was born sort of hard of hearing. I was an incredibly delayed speaker. My parents say I didn't speak words until I was 5 or 6. I didn't put sentences together until I was 9. And then I ended up in the voice recording industry. Crazy, huh? I have a company in New York City. We record voiceover for audiobooks, documentaries, commercials, the soundtracks for video games. And through the years, I've also become a speaking coach for politicians and executives. And I've learned a couple of really key things. One, it's amazing to talk. It's amazing to talk freely and comfortably. Yet, it is equally as important to listen. And that's something a lot of us don't necessarily do. We want to get our words out there. We want to get our words out there because we want to be more successful. The irony is that you will be more successful if you listen more and talk less. Let me explain. When you listen carefully to people, when you show that you are interested in what they say, rather than you trying to be interesting, when you show that you are interested in what they say, a whole lot of things happen. You avoid all kinds of misunderstandings because you've heard what they've said. You show appreciation. You make people feel special. You make them feel liked. You strengthen relationships. And all of these things in totality make you more successful. So your goal is to talk and talk comfortably, talk amazingly, talk awesomely. Your goal is also to listen with as much intent as you want to put out there in the world. Make your conversations a two-way conversation. I don't want you to always focus on, okay, what am I going to say next? How can I get the next word in there? Sit back and listen to people, and you will be more successful. on a daily basis, I voice direct people for prepping them for keynote speeches, for investor pitches, for customer presentations, voice actors who are recording audiobooks and biographies and e-learning modules and corporate training videos. And everything in my industry is about putting voice out there. But all of that voice that we put out there is intended for people to listen. I urge you to focus as much on talking as you do on listening. It is an amazing quality. And when you listen more carefully and you take in what people say, you will find that your personal relationships are strengthened and you'll be more successful. If you have any questions about this, absolutely feel welcome to be in touch. My email address is david@edgestudio.com. I'll repeat that. David@edge, which is spelled EDGE, studio.com. And thank you so much. Remember, talk awesomely, talk amazingly, and listen keenly.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sky. I wrote the book of New World If the World Knew, and I'm here to talk about the word energy as an acronym, which is efficiency, nuance, endurance, revitalization, and yearning. Energy is one of the most important subjects to me and to the world at large because there is a one-to-one correspondence between economic growth and productivity, quality of life, and human thrival, human ability to thrive with energy production, availability, and low cost. Efficiency and energy builds upon each other in a way that is exponential. This exponential growth curve has been observed throughout 3,000 years of human history. As we go from increasing energy density, we go from animal power to wood, to coal, to oil, and the next generation is nuclear. This increase in energy density yields a one-to-one correspondence in, as said, economic growth, productivity, quality of life, and general human health. There is technical nuance in all manufacturing systems. These manufacturing systems are what creates effectively the modern world. And I've been in enough manufacturing facilities, situations, product development, engineering projects, you name it, to know that there is an incredible amount of detail and nuance, keyword nuance, in all of this, right? And these nuances are what allow technical excellency to be achieved in all the ways that we take for granted every day. And through this nuance, we can achieve a better world in a quantifiable way. Endurance and longevity, endurance is a big one, right? As energy becomes more available, more abundant, and lower cost, we improve the endurance and resiliency of our systems and of our components and of our machines and devices and our homes and our communities. This reduces the impact that natural disasters have on our lives. It improves reliability. It is an objective improvement, and more energy means more endurance of civilization and society, which is inherently a good thing. Revitalization. There are many things that are needlessly wasted because there is not sufficient energy, right? Everything from machinery to materials to energy itself. More energy begets more in revitalization through efficiency. Efficiency allows us to not just be energy efficient, but efficiency with our materials, with our technologies, with everything. And this will, of course, lead to ever more economic growth. And why is all this important? Because human needs and desires especially, are effectively infinite through the yearning of the human desire, the desire for greatness, the desire for excellency, the desire for exceptionalism. This yearning, as the Buddha so wisely said, is the source of suffering, but it's also the source of human achievement. It's the source of everything around us that we take for granted, right? It is the source of our seeking betterment. So human yearning is a feature, not a bug. Always yearn for more, always yearn for better. Yearning for better is a good thing. I'm Sky Huddleston. I appreciate your time, and y'all have a great rest of your day. God bless you all. In duty and supplication always. Later.
Hi, I'm Natalia Jansen. I'm a founder and a president of Starring in Your Life. I am an educator and a transformation coach that helps people step into their authentic, powerful self, claiming the starring role in their life. And we love to do it through fun and joy and playfulness, because when you are in the game, you are fully present and you truly know that there is no way to be there halfway. And when we show up that way for life, it's electrifying. The acronym that I use in my work is STAR. And STAR stands for Stepping Toward Authentic Radiance. And that is what I love guiding people towards through improvisation, through fun, through playfulness, presence. I have been an educator for over 25 years. And I've noticed that even the students who may be very timid and shy and don't even raise their hand in the regular classroom come alive in the theater class and step into a leadership position and know when they have a vision, an idea, and they know what they want to create, they're able to embody that power. And often as we grow up and become adults and we start taking life so seriously that we don't even realize we are losing part of ourselves, that's the most authentic us. So my purpose is to help draw that back out and allow everyone to step most powerfully into their starring role, to lead with authenticity and not be playing small or a supporting role or hiding backstage in the story of your life. Because every day is a gift and it's a blank page. And you, as the playwright and a director and the star, get to rewrite the script at any moment and live authentically. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Carmion Moss, and I'm the founder of I Am Carmion and Instantly Inc. I work at the intersection of faith, identity, and AI. My mission is simple: helping people lead, decide, and integrate technology with clarity without losing their discernment, their self-trust, or who they are in the process. Everything I do comes back to one core belief: ain't nothing like understanding. We live in a world that reacts quickly, judges instantly, and moves on without ever asking why. We scroll, we assume, and we respond, often without a second of reflection. But understanding slows us down just enough to see clearly, and clarity changes everything. Today, I want to break down the word understanding, because it's not just a concept, it's a discipline we practice through three specific shifts: Shift one, the internal work. First, understanding requires an internal shift. It begins when we unlearn assumptions, especially the ones that feel efficient. In an AI-driven world, assumptions save time but cost us truth. We must learn to notice before we name, observing patterns and context before we slap a label on the situation. This is where ego must step aside. Ego rushes to be right, understanding is willing to be curious. When ego leaves the room, discernment takes place. It is the ability to actually interpret the data we're being fed rather than just consuming it. Shift two, the external practice. Once we are centered internally, our external engagement changes. We move from reaction, which is automatic, to response, which is intentional. We stop fighting people and start seeking context, addressing root causes rather than just surface behavior. We practice truth with timing, knowing that how we speak matters as much as what we say. And finally, we ask better questions. AI can give us answers, but only a human with understanding knows how to ask the question that opens the right door. Shift three, the leadership legacy. Finally, understanding secures our future. It allows us to name reality accurately and decide with a level of integrity that lasts. This is only sustainable when our identity stays anchored. When you know who you are, you can navigate change, even the rapid shift of AI, without fear. You don't outsource your responsibility to an algorithm. You use the tool to grow. Understanding isn't about being comfortable, it's about becoming better. Understanding is not a destination, it's a present tense posture. You don't arrive at understanding, you remain in it. Scripture reminds us wisdom is the principal thing, therefore, get wisdom. And in all you're getting, get understanding. Wisdom tells us what to do, understanding teaches us how, when, and with whom to do it. So I challenge you practice understanding before reaction, understanding before judgment, understanding before leadership. Because clarity changes people, but understanding changes lives. Ain't nothing like understanding. Now, if you'd like to learn more about my work, please visit me at iamcarmion.com. And if you're interested in how AI can be used as a powerful tool for deeper discernment and study, my book, How AI Helps Us Study the Word, is available now. And I want to thank you to Dr. Smiley for making this event available. And you guys have an amazing day.
Well, great day, everyone. I am Darlene Thorne, your caregiver's co-mentor, and my acronym today is REST in Him. REST means renewing every single thought. And I want to share the story behind it so you can use it this week. The acronym was born in a season when I was doing what many of us do, showing up for everybody, holding it together, and running on empty. One day I realized my body was tired. And we do what many of us do. Our mind was louder than our body. Not just what if thoughts, but you're failing, you're falling behind, you can't keep up. And the Lord kept bringing me back to one invitation: rest in me. Not just lie down, but let me renew what's happening between your ears. Renew is letter R. Renewal is like renewing your license or passport. You don't do it because you're bored. You do it because you need to stay valid. Our minds are the same way. If we don't renew our thinking, we can end up living from what's expired. Romans 12:2 says that we're transformed by the renewing of our minds. So renewal is not a vibe, it's a practice. It's replacing old patterns with God's truth. Jesus prayed, "Your word is truth." So the word becomes the filter and the fuel. E, every. Every means no exceptions because thoughts don't ask permission. They show up, especially when life gets heavy. So we learn to catch them, not after they've moved on, but at the door. 2 Corinthians says we take thoughts captive. In other words, just because you think it doesn't mean you keep it. Single. This is where you can breathe because single means one at a time. You don't have to fix your whole life in one moment. You just have to deal with the next thought. The thought that says, "I'm alone." The thought that says, "I can't handle this." The thought that says, "Nothing will change." One thought at a time. Because what we keep believing eventually becomes what we keep living. And as we think in our hearts, we begin to become. Thought. That's the letter T. Our thought is powerful. It can build your faith or feed your fear. It can create a path in your mind, and the more you walk it, the more familiar it seems. So here's a simple rest practice you can use today. First, inhale, hold, exhale. Long enough to interrupt the spiral. Second, name the lie. Say it plainly. This is fear. This is shame. This is overwhelm. Third, renounce it out loud. I do not agree with this thought. Ooh, I refuse to partner with this. And fourth, replace it with truth. If God's word is truth, then truth has the final say. So you swap the script. God is with me. I have wisdom for the next step. I am strengthened for today. And if you need a starter question, ask, what does God say about me right now? Fifth, move and reset. Stand up, roll your shoulders back, take a walk, shift your focus. Your body can help your brain come back into alignment. And one more, list what's good. Gratitude is an interruption. It reminds your soul God has carried me before. So here's my closing. When life is loud and caregiving is heavy, when leadership is stretching or anxiety is knocking, choose to rest in Him. Renew every single thought, one truth at a time, one decision at a time, one renewed mind at a time. Thank you so much and have an amazing day.
Good morning. I want to say my name is Matthew Philip Wee. I want to say thank you for creating a space where words are meant to uplift and encourage. My life has been shaped by service, serving in the United States Marine Corps, supporting the work of the United States House of Representatives, for the former U.S. Department of Defense at war, serving with the U.S. Department of State, and advocating alongside veteran and military organizations. Across all these roles, one truth has remained constant. Leadership isn't about position, it's about how we choose to show up for people. The word I'm sharing today is serve, which is S, see people first. In uniform and out of uniform, I've learned that mission success always begins with people, before rank, before titles, before policy. We must see the human being in front of us. When people feel seen, trust begins to grow. E, empower through action in government, community work, and veteran advocacy. Words alone don't change lives. Action does. Empowerment means showing up, following through, and helping others believe in themselves through what we do, not just what we say. R, respond with integrity. Integrity matters most when decisions are hard and consequences are real. Whether supporting national security, advising leaders, or advocating for veterans, serve reminds us to choose what is right, even when it's inconvenient. V, value every voice, from Capitol Hill to veteran communities. I've seen that wisdom doesn't come with rank or volume. Every voice matters, especially those that have been overlooked, unheard, or underestimated. E, elevate others intentionally. Leadership is not about recognition, it's about responsibility. When we intentionally elevate others, especially those transitioning from service or searching for purpose, our impact multiplies far beyond ourselves. I want to say this, SIR is more than just an acronym. It's how I learned to live and lead. When we choose people over position, action over words, and integrity over convenience, we build trust, restore dignity, and create lasting change. If each of us committed to serve just a little more each day, our communities and our country would be stronger because of it. And I'm going to leave this off with a saying that I've heard through my Marine Corps career and also the United States Naval Service. It's when people in ships or anybody leaves, we give them this saying to make sure that they're well off. And I want to share that with you all today through that and through my faith, God, and country. And one of the things we say is fair winds and falling seas. It means a lot. It means to say, God bless you and make you understand what's going on. So I want to live off with fair winds and falling seas. God bless. And with the Marine Corps, we have our motto, which is Semper Fidelis, which means always faithful. So I'm going to close out with God bless, fair winds and falling seas, and Semper Fidelis, and always remain Semper Fidelis. Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Hi, my name is Merv Jersak, and I spent the last 45 years in managing projects all over the US and Canada. And as a result of that, I've become an expert, I believe, in leading teams and organization to achieve stellar results. But my firm belief is that to do so, leaders must put people first. And in fact, you can find me at my website, peoplefirstprojectmanagement.com. But my acronym isn't about project management or IT so much as it is about leadership. And in fact, my word that I look at daily is the word leader, Leader. And let me give that to you very succinctly. First of all, listen with intent. Secondly, empathize. Empathize without rescuing. Act with clarity. Develop others intentionally, deliberately. Earn your trust of your team and your organization on a daily basis, in fact, an hourly basis. And also understand that you need to earn your respect, and respect certainly precedes the results that we're all looking for. So in terms of looking at that in a more detailed perspective, when I talked about listen with intent, I'm talking about the fact that most leaders, unfortunately, don't really listen. They're just waiting to talk. They want to talk all the time, but when your teams feel that they're genuinely heard, um, they stop defending themselves and they start contributing much more to the overall endeavor that you're trying to get. Listening isn't soft. It's not a soft skill. It's a strategic skill. I mentioned E, empathize without rescuing. And what I'm talking about there is that empathy, your emotional intelligence, doesn't mean that you're lowering your standards in terms of how you deal with your people. It means I get you. I still expect your best. Strong leaders don't rescue people, they strengthen their people. Thirdly, A is for act with clarity. Act certainly is something leaders must do, but they must do it to avoid confusion because confusion, what I found, drains teams faster than even their hard work. People don't need discussion. They certainly don't need more discussion or more meetings. They need direction. And clarity is your way of showing them a kindness because if you act with clarity, it means you're making decisions that create the momentum you're looking for. The next one is D for develop others. And when I say develop others deliberately, this is something that we don't talk about in leadership often. I think one of the primary objectives of you as a leader is to develop other leaders so that you can go on to lead other teams. Because if you leave no leadership behind when you leave, then you certainly end up having a vacuum that needs to be filled. Development happens when leaders invest their time, their feedback, and giving opportunities to their teams to lead on purpose. E is to earn trust and earn it daily. Trust isn't something that comes just because you have the title. It's something you earn one interaction at a time. And let me tell you that 10 trust interactions can be devoided or voided with one uh, interaction that results in distrust. So please earn your trust on a daily basis through what? R, respect. Because anytime you respect your team, you respect people, they'll comply. They'll comply, but they'll also commit to their complying with you because they feel respected. Commitment always outperforms when you respect. So let me close with this. Leadership isn't what you intend. It isn't what it's what people experience. If you really want to understand how you're doing as a leader, don't check your title. That's got nothing to do with your leadership ability. Check with your people because they already know. Again, my name is Merv Jerzak. You can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, soon Substack, soon the LA Tribune Podcast Network, and certainly on my website, peoplefirstprojectmanagement.com.
Kathy, I wanted to let you know something. First of all, you're muted, and secondly, we love you, and third, Happy New Year. So what we're going to do so that you have a clean one. We want you to have a clean start. So I'd like you to not say anything. I'm going to leave. Don't say anything for 5 seconds, and then start all over. All right.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Kathy Cross Reese, and I'm coming to you on Friday. Happy Friday. I'm so glad to be part of this acronym-a-thon. I am so glad to be part of this acronym-a-thon on today. And I want to thank Dr. Smile, aka Auntie Roz, for inviting me to this opportunity of a lifetime and the connection that she made with Dr. Smiley. So the Smile Smile connection brought me here. And my word is legacy. Legacy. Legacy is the essence of who I am. And I want to thank everyone who has come before me and those that will come after me because we all have something to share that I think the world needs to hear. Legacy, as I said, is like the essence of who I am. It's like the air I breathe. I believe I was birthed into legacy, legacy from generations that came before me. I believe I stand on the shoulders of those who came before me. So again, legacy is not something that you leave behind. It's something that you carry with you. You carry legacy with you and you bring it and you disseminate it along the way, kind of like breadcrumbs, right? And there's a trail for those that come after you, and there's a trail that we get to embrace for those that are before us. So I'll break down each letter. L. L is for leadership. Each one of us has an opportunity to lead our families, lead our communities, lead our businesses, lead movements, I dare say. And I say each and every one of us has a book inside of us. And I share my book right here at the top. It is titled Me Unapologetically. In that book, I share some of these principles of leadership, and I'll go through each one of the letters, but leadership is paramount. Every one of us has a book in us, and this book actually gives you an opportunity to see and embrace who you are, right? The book might be titled Me Unapologetically, but the me is also you. So you'll have an opportunity to go through each page and find out the essence of your leadership, the essence of your legacy. So you don't just need a title to lead. You don't just need a title to lead. Your voice is already the leadership. So my question for you is, what direction is your writing leading people in? Are you leading people in with your writing? Think about that. The second letter, E. E is for experience. We all have our own life experiences. I've shared some of mine inside of the book. I tell the stories of my parents, the stories of my grandparents, and the stories of my great grandparents, the stories of my parents, and the stories of my children, the stories of my grandchildren. And in each one of those stories, there is so much rich value that you can glean from it to apply it to yourselves. In experience, you're invited into pain, you're invited into healing, and you're invited into the process of life. And your words carry authority. Your words carry authority. When you experience, you give others permission to see themselves in your legacy. Your legacy. G. G is for growth. G stands for growth. It's the most impactful portion of the book because you're growing. I go from how I started to where I am currently to where I see myself in the future. So you get an opportunity to glean through my experiences your own personal growth. Growth shows up in your honesty and what you are willing to admit that you do. Thank you. Thank you. The A stands for authenticity. Authenticity. Readers can sense when a story is written for approval. You can sense when you read a story if it's truth or if it's to impress people or if it's real. Authenticity. People want to hear the real you, the real story. Your pain is someone else's pain, and they can see how you were able to maneuver through that pain and grow and polish that pain into perfection. The C is for communication. Communication. Legacy is transferred through our language. We get to speak our own language, and our language connects with others. We get to repeat, emphasize, and name the parts that are becoming our internal dialogue that get to become our external implementation. We get to communicate the information to others so that they can understand and apply it to their own language and create those transitions, right? The why is for you. You are in this story. You get to yield your voice. You get to speak through your own lens and you get to share your own story. Your willingness to share your story provides that communication that sometimes gets a little bit uncomfortable, but it unlocks breakthrough. Sometimes those painful parts that you don't want to share are the very parts that people need to understand that they can get the breakthrough too. Your breakthrough is their breakthrough. That's why I wrote this book, Me Unapologetically, to share the legacy. The legacy, it's not a perfect story and it's not the end. It's a portion of my journey that I'm sharing with you, and I want to invite each and every one of you to join me in this movement. I've coined a program, Legacy Leader Compass, and I take people through the entire process of this legacy lens. So here's what I want to leave with you. This book, I hope, resonates with you, and you get to share your story, your legacy, your truth, right? Thank you. I am so glad to be here on this acronym-a-thon, acronym-a-thon, acronym-a-thon. They said you had to say it 3 times, so there you go. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Eleanor Stutz, and my acronym is GOALS. Go for it, own who you are, advance, lead, success ahead. The reason I came up with this is I grew up among bullies. Everything I did was stupid. So I spent time in my mirror with my reflection, weighing pros and cons of everything that was ever said to me, negative and rarely positive. It was perfect training for sales. I became a sales leader, even though women weren't supposed to be in the field. I had my goal. I wanted to be in business. I wasn't about to let anybody stop me. I made friends with all my clientele, and they asked permission to purchase from me. I astounded the men by always being the top producer, but then suddenly my life stopped. I had a near-death experience, and in the very moment, seriously a moment, I saw visions and I was supposed to begin giving back to communities. Upon healing, we moved, went to a new event, announced myself as a sales trainer. The jeers were unreal. And it came to me to write a book. The one you see behind me, Nice Girls Do Get the Sale, Relationship Building That Gets Results, I refer to as a corporate tell-all with names changed to protect the guilty. The mission was to help people advance their careers and businesses by thoughtful communication. It quickly became an international bestseller and today is evergreen among the classics. I always have goals. Whenever anybody tries to stop me, my smile is my disguise. I listen carefully. Lots of times I ask questions, and then I know which direction to move forward. Goals was my lifesaver. And I came up with some inspirational expressions as time moved on. We only have one life to live, and our duty is to live it without regret. Our worst experiences can be our gifts in disguise when we're willing to learn from them. And last, believe, become, empower. Believe you can do it, become that person, and empower others to do similar. Goals save me from the negativity, and it can help you too. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Barrett Matthews, and I am excited to be a part of Acronym-A-Thon. This is amazing. It's an incredible event, and I'm happy to be associated with such incredible speakers, such incredible presenters, and I hope you are too. First of all, I want to thank the people that invited me here today, and one of the people is Mr. Sam Partman, my good friend Sam Partman. I've known him since I was a kid, and he recommended me here, and also my dear close friend, Mr. Dr. Ken Roshan. Ken Roshan is an incredible person. He has helped me so much in my career. He's helped me publish my book. This is my book, Why Didn't You Get It Done? He's helped me with that. He helped me with another book, which is called 50 Shades of Wealth. And also, I have another book called A Call to Action. And Ken is a great publisher. He helps get people known. He helps people get notoriety. And that's why he put on Acronym-A-Thon. So I want to thank Ken and thank, of course, Sam for helping me be a part of that. And I want to thank you for coming here today. I am a media specialist. I work in media, but I also do something else. I help people live their dreams. And how do you do that, Barrett? How do you do that? How do you help people live their dreams? One of the things that I think almost everyone likes to do is to see the world. They want to travel. So my word today for you is travel. I want to make sure you all can experience the same things that I get to experience, to do the same things I feel. No, I'm not a travel agent. I want to make that clear. I'm not a travel agent. But I do work with some people who are able to help people all around the world get wholesale travel, things that the average person does not know, things that the average person will not be privy to. And what I do is I help those people to learn those things, and I help them to experience the dreams that they have of experiencing different things and seeing the world, because we all want to go places and learn different things. Isn't that right? I hope so. So in doing so, let's talk about the word travel. So the T stands for timeout. So many times we are living our hustle and bustle, busy lives that we don't take time out. You know, we don't do what we need to do to relax, to let our bodies just say, you know what, whoo, it's that time out. We all need it. We all need that time out. And I think the T for travel, I couldn't think of a better word. Well, I saw some better words that I could have used, but I said, no, time out is what we need. Now, let's talk about the R. The R is for recharge. So we're taking that time out. You know, we're taking that time to relax. But we got to get back to it at some point, and that R is for recharge. So we all need to recharge. We got to get our energy back, get our system flowing again, and start moving again, because regardless of what we think, the world is still waiting for us to get back to work. But we have to recharge ourselves, and traveling, going to exotic places. Can you imagine yourself right now sitting under a palm tree with the beach right now, where you could relax and recharge and get your energy back, so now you're ready to roll again? I think you can, as I know I can. I'm ready to go on a vacation right now. Now, the A is for adventure. You know, sometimes when we take a trip somewhere, we have a little adventure. And I'm not talking something risky that's going to put your life in danger. I'm just saying doing something different. Doing something that you might not have done before, that you've always wanted to do. Do something that makes you think, wow, that felt invigorating. We need a little adventure in our lives. We need that challenge, because without that challenge, we don't get to experience what's really deep inside of us. So that's another thing. Now, the V, value. You need to value your time, value yourself, value what the world has to offer for you. Now, a lot of times people don't travel. Also, the value is for the fact that we don't have the money to take a trip. Well, make sure that you can do something that equates to value for you, because they say price is only an object in the absence of value. So if you can take a trip where you can get the value out of it, that would be wonderful too. And lastly, the last thing in the travel acronym is live. I want you to make sure you live the life you were given. So many of us, the only place we ever go is to work. It's time for you to live your life, go do things, experience things. Now, I want to say this to everyone before I leave. If you want to learn more about how you can travel and not have to pay the things that other people pay and not have to experience those things, I want you just to go to www.scan2travel.com, scan2travel.com, and I will show you how you can do the same things and how I've helped so many other people. I'm Dr. Barrett Matthews, and I thank you so much for your time.
Hello, I am Cindy Rand, the Busy Woman's Cheerleader, and my word today is align, abundant life in God's network. We all hear the scripture that says, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. And we all want it. However, how does the world seek out abundant life? The world seeks out abundant life in all the wrong places. Everybody's chasing the next event, the next conference, the next networking event. Everybody's trying to find a way to network in order to be able to make those connections and figure out their purpose and connect with the right person. But what they fail to realize is that when you align in God's network, in God's plan, it alone is the greatest way to network ever created on earth. So, how do you do this? I'm glad you asked. By aligning in God's network, you bring your thoughts, your plans, your dreams, your aspirations, your goals all into sync and harmony with his perfect plan and divine will for your life. When you become a partner with God, with your plans in his network, you're able to fulfill the blueprints of heaven that he's already set. Just like he told Jeremiah, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. I set you apart for a greater purpose. The same thing with us. So, quick story. One day I was talking to my mother and I was explaining to her, she said, well, how are you really doing? And you seem like your mind is a million miles away. And I said, well, it is. I said, I'm at that point where whatever it is that God wants me to do or I need to do in life, I said, I want to do that. I said, I feel like I'm just like in survival mode, like a parachute, like a parachute. I said, I've been feeling that way for years. I said, but I carry it with a grace. I said, so many things have tried to take my life. And it's like I'm here for a purpose and for a reason. And I just want to make sure that whatever that is, that I accomplish what it is I need to accomplish so that I can feel fulfilled. And so later on, it didn't happen immediately, but later on, the word came to me, align. And I'm sitting there going like, align? I mean, align with what? It just didn't click. But what came to me was an analogy of tires. A lot of times, how we go when we get our tires put on, they're beautiful. We're riding off in the sunset, and the tires are buckling and rolling and buckling. The same with the off wheel, front wheel alignment. Everything is buckling. You can't focus on your destination or enjoy your journey with the ride because something's off. What's off? The alignment is off. That is what's off. Alignment. The funny thing is when we think about tires, we think about aligning ourselves as well. We have to consider that. We don't just come up with $1 million ideas and business concepts by drinking a cup of milk or eating our veggies. It comes from God, which is our destiny driver. So we have to align our plans and our purposes. And oftentimes that means surrendering. It means surrendering. And as a leader, that's a very hard thing to do for us to throw up our hands and surrender. But when you're in alignment with God's network, when you're going according to the plan that he predestined and preordained for your life, your ride in your car, your physical being, your businesses, mind, body, spirit, and finances, it all flows. It flows without hindrance, without apprehension. So I'd like in closing today to challenge you to number one, to seek him and ask him, how do I align with what your plans and your purpose is for my life? How do I do that? How do I better live my life abundantly as you designed for me? And how do I align myself with the story and the blueprints that you've already written for me before I even step foot here on earth with a name? Okay? If you do that, I guarantee and promise you, you will experience abundant life in God's network and you will have abundance that will always last. Thank you for having me.
Hello, everyone. My name is Carla Moss Johnson, and I'm the founder of Lifestyle Defense. I spend my time at the meeting point of leadership, financial empowerment, and community building, helping people move from intention to structure. When I was asked to choose one word that describes 2026 for the Acronym-A-Thon,
The word architect stood out because I believe this year is about designing on purpose, building what lasts. An architect doesn't just dream, they design, plan, measure, and build with intention. They think beyond today and build for tomorrow. So today, I want to unlock the message hidden inside the word architect, not just for me, but for all of us. A, assess. Every architect begins assessing the land. Before you build anything new, you must take an honest look at what's already there, what's solid, what's cracked, and what can no longer support the future. This year starts with assessment. Ask yourself, what worked, what didn't, and what needs reinforcement? Because here's what I've learned. What you lean on will either carry you or collapse beneath you. Assessment isn't judgment, it's wisdom. Resolve. Once you assess, you must resolve. Resolve is the decision that this year will not be accidental. It's choosing intention over drift. Resolve says, I'm no longer leaving my life to chance. I'm committed to building something that lasts. C, create. Architects don't copy and paste, they create what doesn't exist. This year, give yourself permission to create a new mindset, new boundaries, new rhythms, and a new vision for your life. Creation requires courage, but nothing meaningful is built without it. Honor. Every structure honors its purpose. A school is built differently than a hospital. A home is built differently than a warehouse. This year, honor who you are and what you were designed to carry. Stop building your life based on someone else's blueprint. Honor your values, your season, honor your calling. Intention. Nothing about an architect's work is random. Every line is intentional. Every angle serves a purpose. Every measurement matters. And this is where intention shows up in everyday life because your words are building materials. The way you speak to yourself matters. The way you speak about what's possible. Those words are shaping what you're building, whether you realize it or not. T, trust. No architect builds alone. They trust engineers, builders, inspectors, and timelines. This year, trust the process, trust the preparation, trust the growth that doesn't show immediately. Some things are strengthening beneath the surface before they rise above it. Evaluate. Great architects revisit plans. They evaluate what's working and adjust without shame. This year, check in with yourself regularly. Course correction is not failure, it's mastery. C, commit. Buildings don't go up overnight. Anything worth building requires commitment. Commitment is staying when it would be easier to quit. Commitment is finishing what you started. This year, don't abandon the bill. And finally, T, transformation. When the work is done, something new stands where nothing stood before. That is the power of being an architect. This year isn't about surviving, it's about designing. Designing your days, your legacy, designing a life that reflects intention, purpose, and faith. As we step into this new year, I invite you to see yourself differently, not as someone reacting to life, but as someone designing it. And when we are intentional about what we design, what we speak, what we lean on, we create lives that carry weight, not just for us, but for those people connected to us. That's why everything I do is guided by this principle. Love the life you live, protect the life you love. Because whether you realize it or not, you are already an architect. The question is, what will you design this year? I would like to thank Dr. Smiley for this opportunity to be a part of this acronym-a-thon. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Hello, my name is Tony Barnett, and I am a published poet through Perfect Publishing. And I want to thank Dr. Smiley, Ken Rochon, for inviting me to participate in this event. At first, I thought it was a little humorous and thought an acronym-a-thon. Okay, and what would be my acronym? And what's funny is that in my lifestyle, I've met multitudes of amazing people. And I currently, in the past, part of my career in the past 10 years, have spent a lot of time in government contracting. There are books of acronyms in government contracting under the sun. But the one that came to mind for this, which is, I think, a little bit appropriate because of my philosophy, is FUBAR. Now, people sit there and say, "Oh my God, no, that's not appropriate." Well, here's the thing. As a business leader, part of my thing is believing in failure as a strategy. We all fail at some point, and it's how we overcome it. And when I was in high school, I had a shop teacher who first introduced me to the acronym. And I didn't quite know what he meant when he said it because I had messed up on a project, and he basically said, "Yep, it's FUBAR." And I was like, "What?" And that's what led me down the path of learning what this is about. So, FUBAR. All right. Basically, flubbed up beyond recognition, or failed beyond any recognition, or a lot of other F's, fudged up, keep going. And it's actually rather funny. And this has a rich history going all the way back to World War II, where the acronym started because of the fact that there's a German word, and I have to pull up on my phone real quick because I wrote it down just to get it to be able to pronounce it. The German word is Fruchtbar, and the Americans in World War II translated that and used that into the acronym FUBAR. Now, why is it important? Because of the fact that for them, they couldn't quite curse out loud. That wasn't the appropriate thing to do. So they followed the instructions and just used that, and it worked. Now, for me, I have been in IT services, government contracting, and it's a common term used in both software and hardware because they can sit there and just say, "This is FUBAR." And everybody knows what that means and can move on forward from that. Now, there's another word that really originated with it, but I'm not going to say that here. But it was fun coming up with the other F words that could mean the same thing, which was kind of fun. Now, moving forward, whenever you hear FUBAR, you'll know right away what it means, and you don't have to sit there and question it one bit. You'll just move on, address it, take care of it the way you're supposed to, and be able to solve the problem, which is part of what business is. When you come up with a situation that is FUBAR, you have to analyze it and take a look at what's wrong, fix it, and move forward without cursing your head off. I want to thank everybody for participating in this today. Again, my name is Tony Barnett. I am a published poet. My philosophy is about love and life and experience. So I hope you all have a wonderful day and enjoy your rest of your a-thon. Thank you.